Yes people, what is happening, how are we all doing, and welcome back to the channel. In this video right here, we're going to be taking a look at every single brand new Lego Fortnite Star Wars Decor bundle in the item shop and essentially doing a full review of every single thing that you can get. And trust me when I say you will not find a more in-depth review and showcase of these items on YouTube. You have my word on that one. As you can see in front of me, I have lined up every single bundle. We're going to go through prices. We're going to go through what you get as part of every single bundle. There's nothing that you won't know by the end of this video. And so with that out of the way then, let's do this. So first up then, we have the Tatooine Workshop bundle, and this is going to cost you 500 V-Bucks in the item shop. And as you can see, you've got quite a wide variety of different items here. These are all wall lights. I'm going to showcase basically everything for you. So as you can see, I have laid them out perfectly for every single bundle. A little bit of a console here. We've got this storage item, which is essentially a closet. This holds 10 spaces. I know people like to know that kind of thing, exactly how much storage they can get with these things. So there you go. That is 10. Little seat there, not too bad. Not the most interesting seat I've ever seen in the whole of Lego Fortnite, I'll be honest with you, but it's not bad. Couple of other details here. We've got this kind of like console, which is actually probably one of the better items in here. That thing right there is a little bit boring, so we're not really going to showcase that anymore for you. A little bit dull. One of the best things though has to be this like little figurine that you can get here of a Star Wars shuttle. Definitely one of the best items in this bundle. So that is everything that you can get for your V-Bucks in that one. Then let's jump straight on to the next one. Okay then, this is the Tatooine kitchen, and this one is 300 V-Bucks. Don't really need to showcase that much for you here. You can literally see everything. And essentially, you put all of these parts together to create a Tatooine themed kitchen. It's pretty cheap because mostly on their own, these aren't really going to be that useful. You're essentially going to need to build the whole kitchen in order to use the vast majority of them, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, some cool details with the glass and stuff we've got here. The only thing you might use separate to that is these two kind of decor items at the back here, which is like your standard kitchenware. It's not really that exciting though, and you can tell that by the fact that they've priced it really, really cheap. 300 V-Bucks is one of the cheapest you'll see in this video, and you can kind of tell why, mainly because you're not going to use this stuff unless you're building a kitchen. Okay then, this is the Tatooine living room, and let me check my notes. This one is 500 V-Bucks. So, we've got some chairs here. I would just say they're okay. They're not particularly incredible. I've seen far better, more interesting chairs in Lego Fortnite already, both in terms of Star Wars and other stuff too. We've got a couple of wall lights at the back here. This one's got a much more blue glow to it, and this one's kind of like a yellowy tinge. Floor lamp there as well. And a fairly standard rug. That one is not particularly exciting. I wouldn't say it's nothing out there. But what I would say is, these planters that we've got here, up to this point, we've not really had anything like that in Lego Fortnite. These, to me, are easily the best part of this bundle because you can use them with anything. You don't even have to have it Star Wars themed. You can definitely just use these regardless of what village you're building. So for me, they are easily the best part of that bundle. Right then, here we've got the Tatooine indoor bundle, and this one is 450 V-Bucks, and it basically just kind of makes up like a little bit of a bedroom and a little bit of a living room. We've got this massive bed over here. This is a brand new bed. We've got seating. These benches are kind of pretty boring, if I'm honest with you. I wouldn't really say they're that exciting. Pretty basic looking wooden coffee table, another bench. This is supposed to be a bench as well, I think. At the back, we've got a couple of rugs. Pretty small ones, though. Obviously, this one's slightly bigger and has a probably more interesting pattern on it compared to that one. And we've got a couple of like coffee mugs over here. Truthfully, this is a very, very basic bundle. Not really that exciting. There's definitely far more interesting things they put in the shop as part of this collab. Here we have the Tatooine outdoor bundle, and this one is 600 V-Bucks. As you can see, a couple of like sigils here. We've got a little bit of floor lighting there. I mean, it's okay for like lighting, but trust me when I say there are far better ones that we're going to get into as we move on. Kind of kitchen type details you could put there. I'm not entirely sure if that's supposed to be for the kitchen, but it's a minor detail either way. A few metal droids here. This one's a deactivated droid, I think, and these are supposedly some other kinds of droids as well. But definitely the most interesting things you can get as part of this bundle are these oil baths right here. Oh my god, the sun's shining on it and blinding me. Slightly bigger one there, slightly smaller one. Again, not the most exciting bundle, I wouldn't say. I'm starting to notice that with quite a few of these Tatooine ones. Some of them just really aren't that that interesting. And we then have the Tatooine rug room for 350. Another bed very similar to the one we had there, except this one is a single and the previous one was a double. This is a very simple seat, kind of looks like one of the shell themed ones we've already got in the game from the Beachside Boulevard bundle, so if you've got that, you don't really need this one. And then we've got some other rugs here, and as you can see, they're just okay. They're not really that great, I wouldn't say. Like, definitely not as good as a lot of the Lego Fortnite rugs you get as part of other various sets, and the original ones I would say that you don't even have to pay for in Lego Fortnite are probably better than these two. So that is the 6 different Tatooine bundles right there, and it will cost you a grand total of 2,700 V-Bucks if you want to get all of that stuff that I've just been through. Truthfully, value for money for 2,700 isn't necessarily bad. As you can see, you get a lot of stuff, but to be honest with you, the vast majority of the stuff, particularly this kitchen set, I just don't think you're going to be using unless you're building like really Star Wars themed stuff. There's some good items here, but it's not incredible. So 2,700 V-Bucks, and if I was to give all of this as a giant set a rating out of 10, I think I would probably go with a 5 out of 10. And the reason I'm giving it that kind of score is, once we go on to the other ones I'm going to show you in a second, I definitely think they're better than these, and I think the value for money is also a lot better than the Tatooine ones too. Okay then, next up we have the Empire bedroom set, and this one is 450 V-Bucks. We have lots of beds, you'll see as we go through all of this. This is probably the worst of them. This is the most lame ass looking bed I have seen in Lego Fortnite so far. It looks like a sleeping bag. I don't know who's going to be using that, truthfully. That thing is absolutely terrible. Luckily, the rest of this set is not too bad, though, because that thing is just awful. Coffee table right there, kind of basic, and a very basic seat that you can use next to it. This is a floor lamp, kind of bang average also, if I'm being totally honest with you. This is just a floor detail you might use. It kind of looks like it should be a chest, but it isn't. You can't open it, you can't put anything in it, unfortunately. However, with these two, you can. We've got this giant red Empire chest here. It carries like 10 storage slots for you, and this slightly smaller grey one here, which is 8. And we've got these 2 wall details at the back. These things are brilliant. This is like some kind of like Empire styled sigil, really, really cool. And this is like a wall droid. That thing to me is easily the best part of this set, apart from maybe that chest. There's some decent items in it, maybe 2 to 3 or maybe 4 decent items, but quite a few of the things that you see at the front here are very, very basic. We then have the Empire Hideout bundle for 750 V-Bucks. And as you can see, if you listen carefully, listen, you can hear all this like beeping and squeaking, which is coming from all of these machines, which is a really, really unique feature of these machines. Like, very, very cool detail there. So 750 V-Bucks for essentially like a mini command center control room. All of these different panels and stuff. You've got this massive one at the back, a sigil there, wall detail, really, really cool light here. Standing light, which is really, really bright. And this is supposed to be some kind of engine, by the way, if you can't really tell what that's meant to be. Actually, probably one of the better sets we've been through so far, I reckon. Very, very strong, this one. But then again, it is a little bit more expensive. We now have the Empire kitchen set for 250 V-Bucks. And again, like the one we just saw, the kitchen set, you're essentially supposed to use all of this together. As you can see, the vast majority of this is just different parts to the same kitchen set that you would build all together. That is a sink over there at the back, though, so if you're looking for kind of sinks in Lego Fortnite, that is one for you right there, because we don't actually have that many. Believe it or not, this thing right here is a light. It's not particularly bright, but it does give off a little bit of a red glow at night time. It's kind of like an interesting colour scheme, but it's not that bright. And this right here is a meeting table. This, to me, is the best part of this set by an absolute mile. So a very, very cheap bundle here, but to be honest, I don't think you'd end up using most of the stuff in it unless you're building something with this complete theme. And we then have the Empire Outdoor Bundle, 700 V-Bucks. Probably one of the best so far. I mean, look at all of this insane stuff. If you're looking for like satellites and machinery, this is probably one of the best you'll find. Just like take a look at all of this stuff. It's absolutely crazy. Some of the biggest items you can get, I'll be honest, in terms of decor stuff, apart from maybe the things down at the bottom there, which I'll show you very soon. So different machinery, lots of satellite dishes, big ones, small ones. This one here is like an Empire crate, but again, not a storage item. And it kind of looks a bit like that when you see it in the item shop. You might be able to store stuff in it. You can't put anything in it whatsoever. It's just there as like a decal, as a decor item, unfortunately. But there you go, people. All of those items, probably one of the strongest in the Empire set, I would say, and that's actually the final one. So if you want to get all of these Empire decor items, it is a grand total of 2,150 V-Bucks. So you get less decor items than the Tatooine ones, but you do pay less in terms of V-Bucks as well. I think for this, all in all, I would probably give it a... Oh, this is tough. I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10. And the reason I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10 is I think this like command center that you've got here is absolutely fantastic. Some of the best decor items we've had in Lego Fortnite so far. And I also think the outdoor bundle here is brilliant as well. Not necessarily a fan of the kitchen part there, but that is kind of cheap and you don't really need it anyway. And then there's a few good items as part of this one here. The wall droid is brilliant though. So to be honest with you, a lot of the electronics equipment for this is really, really strong, but some of the other stuff a little bit more basic. But I do think with this you get really good value for money, and some of the items are brilliant. Okay, then on to the Rebel items. This is the Rebel bedroom set, and I can't remember how much it costs, so I will quickly have a look for you. It is 500 V-Bucks. We've got a brand new bed that you can see right there. Miniature storage thing here with 8 slots, slightly bigger, no it's not, slightly smaller one there with 6, I do apologise, I thought it was 10. You only get 6 as part of that, so that one is actually technically bigger, and then you get 8 as part of that one there, so quite a lot of storage with this. This is technically shelving, but again, can't store anything on it. And then we've got 2 different lights over here that do actually give off like a really big blue glow at night time. You've got this wall one that you stick on the wall there, and you've got one hanging down here. Here we have the Rebel Hideout bundle, and this one is 700 V-Bucks, and along with the Empire one I showed you before, this is probably one of the best you can get in the item shop right now in my opinion. By the sounds of it, it doesn't seem to give off any noise. Let me have a quick listen. I don't think this one gives off any noise, which is a little bit disappointing actually, considering the other one does. This is actually a table, which is quite cool. These are all kind of like command center things, although to be fair, the things do kind of look like stickers that are stuck on, so I wouldn't say it's as strong as the Empire one, but it's still pretty decent, and you've got that one at the back there. 3 different rugs, slightly bigger one, 2 slightly smaller ones with like kind of red and grey themes, and you've got this blue one here. And finally, you've got this Rebel sigil on the wall at the back. A really, really good bundle, perhaps not quite as good as a couple of the Empire ones, but pretty strong, I would say. Next up then, we have the Rebel dining room, and this one is 300 V-Bucks, and not to sound rude, but you can kind of see why, alright? It's pretty basic, this one, okay? We've got this table here, a couple of like different seats. This one is a seat, by the way. I know it's difficult to tell because it literally just looks like a block on the floor. That is essentially a smaller table. That is supposedly a bench. This is a chair. That is some kind of floor decal, and we've got a light here, a ceiling light. It's a very, very basic bundle, this one. To be honest, it's not surprising it's one of the cheaper ones. This one right here is the Rebel kitchen bundle, and just like the kitchen ones I spoke about before, there's a reason it's cheaper, right? Because it's 350 V-Bucks, and quite a bit of it, you'd only really be using it together. Like these things right here are only going to go with each other. There's a bit of shelving there I suppose you could kind of use if you wanted to, and maybe the sink. The better stuff in here is probably the wall decals. We've also got 2 lights for the ceiling. Similar kind of like red tinge to them, but they are very, very small, so they don't even really show that much, I wouldn't say. They're not particularly interesting. The wall decals you can get at the back here, there with this kind of like machinery styled thing, are to me definitely the most interesting parts of this bundle. But as I said, you can kind of tell why this one is a little bit cheaper, because it's not necessarily that strong. And we then have the Rebel Outdoor Bundle, and this one is 700 V-Bucks. And this is basically like the Rebel version of the Empire one we saw before, with all of the different satellites and machinery. As you can see, tons of different satellites, like a ridiculous number, quite frankly. These ones that are coloured are really, really cool. The gold tinges to them and the white. But these two here are so basic and boring. Like, I don't understand why these aren't coloured in any way. They should be at least like a kind of silver colour or some kind of like more interesting grey. It almost looks like they're missing a texture. Really, really odd, those ones. I know it's like they are coming kind of like directly from Star Wars, but they just don't really seem that high quality to me. We've got some more details like these kind of things here around the back, and as you can see, this kind of like giant machinery there. And this thing here is supposed to be some kind of generator. I think it's absolutely massive. Definitely one of the more substantial pieces from that bundle. And this tiny canister on the floor here, which, to be honest with you, it's so small I barely even noticed it. And that is everything that you get as part of that bundle right there. If you want to get all of the items, the Rebel items together, 5 different bundles, it will cost you 2,550 V-Bucks, which I'm pretty sure is the second most expensive out of the kind of 3 different packages. Tatooine one, Empire, and then Rebel. It's the second most expensive of those 3. It does have some good items as part of the outdoor set there, and then good items here as part of the command one as well. These are definitely the strongest to me. That one's kind of weak, so's the kitchen one too, I would say. If I was going to give this one a rating out of 10, I think I'd probably stick it in the middle with a 6 out of 10. Empire, in my opinion, is the strongest. I'd then probably go with the Rebel one, and then the Tatooine one, probably the kind of weakest. None of them are necessarily bad. The value for money for all of them is also kind of, it's okay. You don't get any buildings though. You're paying V-Bucks obviously just for decor items, which is something definitely to keep in mind. My advice to you is to be very, very specific. Take a look at the video that I've just gone through. Take a look at the items you think you're going to use, and be very specific with what you're buying, because they're not grouping bundles together to allow them to be cheaper for you. It's not as if you can buy all 4 of the Empire bundles and you get a big V-Buck discount. If they're going to do that, it's going to be something they're going to introduce later, because they haven't done it so far. You literally have to go through and buy all of the bundles individually. It's absolutely crazy, and to be honest, very, very costly in terms of V-Bucks. And so there we have it then, people. That is every single brand new decor bundle that you can buy in the Fortnite item shop as part of the Lego Fortnite Star Wars collab. If you do have any questions whatsoever about any of the bundles, any of the pricings or specific items or anything like that, just drop me a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer those for you. That's basically going to be everything for this video right here. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.